my 2 pots of soup have got soured. I am not able to access funds to run my home. As if that is not enough, they have thrown the whole place into darkness. That is how a female resident in Owerri expressed the plight of Owerri residents over the darkness occurring in the state in the last 1 week or so. And with that, we welcome you to our breakfast show, Daybreak Niger, on Universal Heritage Television Niger. My name is Afam Echi, your host. I have 2 people to discuss the issue of NLC strike in Imo State. And on my immediate left is Chinyere Opara. Chinyere Opara is a teacher, an activist, and a politician. Madam, you are welcome to our program.
You are welcome. Thank you very much. Hello, viewers. Stay put and hear us clearly.
Next is Collins Ogala, who is incidentally a Knight of St. Christopher. I guess I'm right.
You're right.
Okay. He is recently, he got appointed to the position of SA on public communication to Governor Hope Uzodinma. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, the issues are very clear. Imo State has been thrown into darkness in the last 6 days or so. And that resulted from the Nigerian Labour Congress strike action, which is restricted to Imo State. People are confused. People do not know the reason behind the strike. A lot of issues are playing out. And it's occupying the front burner in the public space right now. Now, let me ask you, Collins, they told us that the strike is politically motivated. That is what is coming from the government angle. The government has alleged that the NLC helmsman, Joe Ajero, is acting the script of the opposition parties. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with the position of the government that from what we have on the table, the strike action is politically motivated. It is a script Joe Ajero is playing. You see, strike is not something you pick on the road. There are legal provisions. There are legal provisions for strike. Strike is usually the last resort. Now, before you go on strike, the labor law provides that the reason must be a dispute of right, not a dispute of interest. Dispute of right means that the dispute has to center around contractual agreement. Issues of salary payment, promotion, work environment, and all of that. Not on issues such as election, which is an interest. Now, whatever the issues are, before you declare you go for strike, there are procedures to take. The union must meet and resolve to go on strike. Then they communicate to the appropriate authorities, the government, okay, by activating the dispute resolution clause, that's arbitration clause. That is why Labour will say, between 2 weeks or 1 month, if you don't resolve these issues, we'll go on strike. When they make that announcement, they're activating the arbitration clause in the labor law. If at the end of the time, those issues are not resolved, they are free to go on strike. But that is not what we saw here. We saw an NLC president who did not get any complaint from the NLC here. The NLC here didn't say, look, we have issues with the governor, we have issues with the government. On his own, he woke up and declared a strike, imposed a strike, because the fallout of the NLC election here did not favor his own political interests.
Okay. Now let me ask you. You said there were no complaints, but if I got it right from what I read in the print, the NLC chairman, Joe Ajero, highlighted some of the issues, like the issue of not paying workers over 20 months, the issue of turning some, I think like, if the figure is right, 11,000 into ghost workers.
Let me help you. Let me help you. Let me concede to you and to Joe Ajero that he made those claims. Joe Ajero is not the NLC chairman in Imo State. Whatever happens, he doesn't preside over the affairs of the NLC here. The local chapter will generate this controversy, not him.
Okay,
they will generate this complaint and send to him, say, look, these are our problems, these are our challenges. But on the contrary, the NLC here says that they don't have unresolved issues with the state government. So who complains to him? Can he generate crises here? Can he generate controversies here? Can he complain to himself?
Okay, we'll come back to this issue. Madam, what is your take on the issue of this strike being politically motivated?
There is nothing like political in this strike. I've been in Imo State all this while. There was a time I visited one school in World Bank. I want to go and give them incentives. I noticed that their vice principal was among the people. Is it vice teacher? What did they call headmistress? Yes. Was among the people who shortlisted. She was doing menial jobs just to eat. Do you understand? That was last year. I was shocked. I said August last year or December. No, August. She was even a maid to one person just to wash, and but you see a teacher. So he says since how many months that all they do is to call them and to submit all your this thing every day. They are calling them to come and submit one thing or the other. Nothing has happened. So that's when the headmistress told me that some of them, when they each salary, they contributed maybe 1,000 to give to those people. So this thing is not just something that these people have been in pain. I can 11,000 work. There was a time last year, a woman went naked on social media, cursing those of them that they will never be well with him. That no pension, that her BP, she's a retiree. Her BP always shoots up, no money to go and buy, and it's like the woman is childless. So nobody is happy. She only believes in that. So don't tell me that it's politically motivated. Imo State is not contesting governorship now. This thing is November to 2024. So they're nothing like they must have endured a lot than propel them to say no. We cannot. This thing is a body. And they cannot be covered or overwhelmed by the government to treat them like shit. You know how hard things are in this country now. Talk of when you have not paid somebody for over 2 years.
Let me draw some clarifications here. Okay. Let me make some clarifications here.
Over what you said.
Yes, I'm interested in the issues. What are the issues? Me as a person, I cannot go on shopping. I cannot go shopping for problems in the NLC. I cannot go looking for isolated cases. Yes, I'm saying. But what does the law? It's good you introduce Madam as a politician. If he becomes
just like you.
Yes, if he becomes governor tomorrow, he will face these issues. We will face the issues of law. What are the legal provisions? Let us assume, without conceding, that all the issues the NLC president reeled out are correct. The point is, who generated these issues? If there are, like she pointed out, and of course these are not verifiable cases, but if these are the issues, excuse me.
What is not verifiable? No, what do you mean?
Her claim of one headmistress somewhere looking wretched, going, those.
No. If you are talking about verification, I can give you more examples.
No, I mean
for you to verify.
I mean, but for now, we cannot verify these claims. But what I'm saying is this. Excuse me, allow me to make my point. Okay. What I'm saying is that
been on the table.
The NLC president, Joe Ajero, one, is not the NLC chairman in Imo State. And if Madam said they are tired, who are these they that complain? Where is the communication? Where is the communication? The NLC
is always on the table.
Listen, the NLC is an organization, it's a union.
Yes.
They have leadership.
And
when they
coming.
excuse me, when they want to complain, when they want to do their communications, when they want to protest, when they want to do anything, they want to go on strike, they have leadership.
You talk about
they have a channel. What I'm saying is that if this strike action is procedurally wrong, it makes it illegal.
That's it.
So if it is illegal, it cannot stand.
Okay, now, but you know that these issues have been there. People have been complaining of not receiving their salaries
and pension.
And pension. People are, when you are talking about verifying the issues, I have cases, I have met persons, I can even give you their information after now. If you can help to resolve their issues, like in my village, like in the local the education secretary in my local government, they are all complaining of 20-something months of salary arrears they've not received. You know, I don't want us to go into
details.
Into that.
Do you want me to talk about that?
No. Maybe in another program we can discuss those things. Now, the actual thing that played up the strike is the issue of election.
Okay.
Now, there is these allegations. The state government and the NLC president have been trading agreements, according to the Imo Commissioner for Information, accused the NLC president of trying to impose his own candidate. Whereas NLC is also accusing the government of trying to impose their own candidate. And when it appears that the government is losing out in the game, they brought talks that beat up NLC.
Now, let me tell you the story. Let me help you out.
Allow him to finish. Then, if I will have pen, we should supposed to be noting the point.
They brought talks that beat up NLC officials, and that is what prompted that played up the strike immediately without talking about this procedure. And with so many other things, they have because they talked about government withholding their check-off. That's one of the issues. I think they have about 13 points, 11 or 13 points.
Let's address the issues one by one so that we don't jam-pack these issues.
Now, is it right for the government and the labor to be contesting whose leadership should be imposed on workers?
Okay, let me give you the answer straight away.
Okay.
Now, I'll give you the answer from the top. Okay. The top is this. Two people we are contesting for NLC chairmanship in Imo State. Wansi and George, the acting chairman, and the other person from IMSU. Now, NLC president, according to you, alleges that governor or the government is supporting the other candidate, Wansi. Now, according to you, government is saying that NLC president wanted to impose George on labor here. At the end of the day, the same NLC president illegally declared a caretaker committee and made the same George the chairman.
So why?
Excuse me. To you, who wanted to impose George? When he declared that illegal caretaker, why not choose another person? If he was not bent on George, if he didn't want to impose George on labor, but that is not the problem. The problem is that all along, the NLC president was playing out a script. Now, the government...
You said the NLC president is playing out a script?
Oh, yes.
Which script?
That is what we mean by politics, by playing politics. He's playing a political script.
Yeah, you should be able to identify...
Yes. I should tell you who wrote the script for him?
Yes. And what kind of script is he playing?
What I have seen him do is to play a script. He should tell us who wrote the script for him. But I am sure I don't have to know who wrote the script, but I have to know that he's playing a script because he's playing a script.
Of who?
He's
in
playing
favor of who?
In favor of the opposition.
Of which? Who is the opposition?
Against the government. Now, when the election was about to take place, of course, you can't have an NLC election in a state in an atmosphere of rancor, and you expect that the outcome will be so sweet. They built up to the election, even told anybody who was watching closely that there will be rancor. Because the NLC chairman himself, according to what labor leaders are saying, unilaterally changed the rules overnight. What are the rules? The NLC constitution, I'm telling you what, point of law, the NLC constitution provides that in every election, the affiliate chapters will vote through their chairman. That is when the chairman, for example, the Health Workers Union votes. It is recorded that all members of the Health Workers Union have voted. And in Imo State, you will have about 91 members of the Health Workers Union who were delegates to that election that should vote. Now, that was the highest unit, the highest number. These people had agreement to vote for their own candidate. But knowing that if that happened, his own candidate will lose. He changed
for going for this strike. All these things.
See, the point they mentioned is that government interfered with the process, and I'm telling you that government did not interfere with the process. So if that is the straight answer you want to hear, I will agree to you.
The government did not interfere in the process. What they mentioned, I read, is that their workers are being molested. 11 months.
If workers, I think I've addressed this issue. I addressed this issue when I said, look, we have to look at what happened. When I said that one, the NLC president does not have the power to generate this complaint to himself. This complaint should come from the NLC here.
Invariably, not gone to the government. Does it mean that invariably they have not presented their case to the government?
Who has not? Sometime last year, excuse me. They
have not presented their case.
Madam, listen. Sometime last year, the NLC wrote to government that they will go on strike.
Okay.
You got the point?
That's it.
Now, when that announcement was made, when that letter was written,
and they stipulated
what they did,
their grievances.
Excuse me, yes.
They stipulated their grievances.
Please listen.
Okay.
Listen. Once you do that communication, you have also activated the arbitration clause. So what government had to do was to take advantage of that arbitration and called for a meeting. The former chairman, Ayuba, was in Imo State and leveled this agreement with governor. And all of those issues were resolved. And they called off, not suspended. They didn't suspend the strike. They are documents. They called it off. So on what basis is this new strike coming up now?
Because they said that the former was not honored.
That is not the process. That is not the process. Even if you have, excuse me, madam, this is not a shouting match. Even if you have genuine case, what is the process? You have to reactivate the process. You can't help yourself. You can't jump the gun. Before the
current strike, they didn't.
No communication. It was just arbitrarily. It was just a bit. Ask him. It was just arbitrary. It was arbitrarily announced by the NLC president.
Let me ask you. From what you are saying, impliedly, you are insinuating that the NLC president imposed this strike.
Yes, illegally.
No, he said it's illegal.
So what has it got to do with political?
If it is,
because they are tagging it that opposition. I don't know. Is it Labour Party or PDP or I don't know.
If he imposed this illegally, if he imposed this strike illegally on the workers, but the workers respected and honored the strike.
No, they did not. They did not.
He's one of them.
So why are you saying if they did not? Why do we have a blackout?
Listen. NLC in Imo State is essentially civil servants. Do you understand? They are affiliate unions.
We know that.
Now, what happened was that the NLC in Imo State pulled out. There was a press conference here. They pulled out. That is why you see workers. Workers have been going to work. So, yes, workers have been going to work. Check this. Just go back to the secretariat tomorrow and find out. Even go today, you see workers working. I just left the secretariat now to this program. Now, when the NLC president realized that his strike action did not work, he now used the Electricity Workers Union. And he is also the national president of the Electricity Workers Union as we speak. He tried to use Nupeng. Nupeng pulled out. They said, no, we're not part of it. That's why Phillips stations are open.
Now, because
he tried to use the Aviation Workers Union. They pulled out. That is why the airports are open.
But airports are not.
No flight.
When was that?
Airports are
as of yesterday, no flight coming to Imo State.
Okay, I will have to verify that.
No.
But what I'm saying is that he had to resort to these federal government agencies that are outside the purview of the state government to drive home his intention. Not grievance, the workers here. The union here said, by the union here, the NAC here said they don't have unresolved issues with the state government. And that is a statement of fact.
Okay, if you are still making an implicating statement, you know, if you say that he resorted to fell back on the federal agencies, yes, which he has control, it means then that the allegation that the governor is interfering in labor in Imo State is right, because right. Those who are loyal to him are those who are prepared to respect his opinion instead of that of labor.
No, it is that drawing, that conclusion is faulty. Okay. It is not correct.
And it may not be correct.
Yes, it is not. It is not correct. Okay. The point I'm making is this: the election was for NLC, not an affiliate union election. So if the mother union pulled out of the strike, the strike did not hold. So what he's doing now is to abuse his office.
You call it abuse of office?
Yes, what he's doing now is to abuse his office, play politics with his office, and put Imo people now into suffering. Untold suffering.
The suffering is untold.
Untold suffering.
In the wake of this strike, the strike has already consumed a commissioner for labor and productivity, Paul Ozumba. Now, what will you tell us actually got the governor angry to fire him? It's very unusual of the governor to sack commissioners.
I don't agree with your conclusion.
No.
Your conclusion that the strike has already consumed a commissioner. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Or is the governor's grievance that they didn't report to him? Of the intention
Madam,
of
are you the person asking? Are you moderating this program? Or
no, you are dominating it, and I'm not.
I am not. I'm responding to questions thrown to me.
Okay.
Yes, I have not hijacked any question thrown to you. I'm only responding to questions thrown to me.
Yeah, so
the point is that when the Commissioner for Labor and Productivity was sacked, there was official communication. And as journalists, we should limit ourselves to the facts available until we see fresh facts. So we should not make assumptions. The fact of the matter is that governor didn't give reason for his sack.
Okay.
So it is unhealthy, it is unhealthy journalism for us to begin to speculate. So we have to wait as facts unfold. Maybe tomorrow we'll get to know the facts, we'll go to know the why. But for now, the government didn't say the why. It is, I think it is not unconnected. I think the governor has the right to hire and fire. After all, when governor appointed him, did you ask him why he appointed him? You did it and he didn't tell you. Now he has fired him. You're asking him why he fired him.
That means the appointment there is not.
You understand?
Madam, do you have any opinion? Because the commissioner has been relieved of his duty. The commissioner who is presiding over labor and productivity in the state, in the wake of
in this state, it's no longer news of firing, and it's only in this our administration that I've seen even what do they call it? State House of Assembly, their this thing being fired, changed more than 3 times. So firing is a norm for this president. I don't know whether there is a rule or regulation in the State House of Assembly to negate this kind, because it's embarrassing. You might come to work tomorrow as a commissioner, and what you will see on your table is a letter, or you are relieved of your job, and that it has been continuous. So this one is no longer news. But why people are talking about it is because of this strike we are into. That's why people actually wanted to know what is because our governor here, it is his way of administration. There has been a norm. There is no governance. People are crying. There is no governance. There is no being carried along. There is no love. And whatever that you are doing without love is born to fail. You are doing it. You see, we are not in a military regime. Even when we are in military regime, it's far better than now. You don't use power on everything. It must be my will. Sometimes you listen to the people and know their will concerning that, and then conclude. It must not be your will. The governor is not the embodiment of the whole knowledge. All those people employ, people like you, I can see that you're a very sound man. You're supposed to buy ideas and do right governance. Not because somebody I might, if you come to me, if I'm the governor tomorrow, come and gossip that this person said tomorrow, fire, without verification. That's not how to do governance. Must you generate enemies around you? Must everybody bid your will? Sometimes there must be something you propose. Your commissioner will say, oh, His Excellency, this one is but it will affect people one way or the other. Our governor should run, a parallel government and carry everybody along and run a government of love. Show that love to your people. See, I know this governor before now.
Okay.
His name is Owa.
Yes.
He is a dangerous giver. He's a very accommodative and so receptive. He built houses to people. I don't know what changed him in this president government.
Okay.
Whether it's people around him that is corrupting and imposing this thing, that was never in his characteristics. All that I'm seeing in this government was never in Hope's or the mass characteristics.
Now, Collins, let me ask you, you've been making effort to debunk the idea that the government has no hand in what happened. You have denied the issue of imposing candidates, but you see, there are facts, one or two in the state here. Let us take the issue of NUJ in this state, where there are signs that government has shown some level of meddlesomeness, interference in the union's activity. We know, me and you know together that there is the NUJ matter is in the court. A matter that is sub judice should be respected. We've been talking about rule of law. Yeah. Now, when the court say don't hold election, a faction of the NUJ went to hold the election, and the Commissioner of Information, who knows about these issues very, very well, led the same people to the governor for recognition, which alludes to the same thing Madam is saying. The governor is not being properly advised. And people are saying, opinion from the public is saying that it is the same thing the government is doing. They want to have a handle on the labor unions. They will control them so that they can emasculate them. And then when they plant their studies, workers are not able to do anything. So this I have given you now is an example. How do you
You see, my reaction is this.
Yeah.
Whereas I didn't come here to discuss NUJ, but this question, excuse me, allow me.
Okay.
This question has come up. My answer is very simple. Now, if you are sure, so sure that there was a law, there was a judgment saying that there should not be NUJ election, and one group conducted election and a new executive emerged, I for one don't see any reason why government should not recognize that group, because, excuse me, the judgment didn't say that the government should not recognize them. If the group that got the judgment, if they got a judgment, what they should do is to go back to court. Yes, go back to court. You said there should not be election, but there is election.
Yeah, but okay. Now.
So the problem is not with the governor or the government who recognized a group that had election
and expresses interest in that. Are you aware that the organs of Imo Media, some of the organs, the UNAWATCH, the NUJ, the IMPA, are all factionalized. Even in the IMPA that do not have they have somebody suspected to be a stooge of the government.
I am not aware.
You are not aware?
Yes, I'm not aware, but for the specific case of the NUJ election,
our governor is not properly informed about the happenings in the society.
Please, I'm not here to run on emotion. What I'm saying is that, excuse me, what I'm saying, we are running on the facts.
Yes.
What you said is fact, is what I'm talking about. That if there was a judgment that said there should be no election, and the people went ahead to have election, you don't worry yourself about who recognized them and who did not recognize them. You have to go back to court and give you the judgment. That is the rule of law I'm talking about. If the court says, look, that faction or that union is or that ESCO is disbanded, I can assure you that governor will tell them to go back and do what the court said they should do. Okay. Because the government did not say, governor, don't recognize them or don't recognize any faction. There must be NUJ, and governor must work with NUJ. The government must work with NUJ. So if there is election done by one faction, Fine. That remains the legitimate NUJ until court says otherwise.
Madam, how would you assess? You know the governor very well. You said
I don't know him very well. That's not what I said. Okay, I know him.
He's a very generous person.
Very, very.
Now, it will appear as if his generosity do not extend to workers anymore because of the various complaints. How would you look at his relationship with the labor force in Imo State?
See, when he came to office, he started validating
the welfare of workers.
Validating the workers, because in every government, in every parastatal, there must be ghost workers. It's inevitable of those at the top. Do you understand? So we are all happy. He's removing the wheat from the chaff. Do you understand? And then as time goes on, it's no longer a joke, because now you call a living being a ghost worker. And the person came and presented his certificate. See my certificate, see everything. I've been working for social time. So still you tag him a ghost worker till today. Do you understand? So in your question, the governor that I know, if he has good SAs, PAs, and people that are close to him, that man have a heart of gold. Do you know how many people that man built houses for? When he was not a governor, when he was not even a senator, his own hard-earned money. Do you understand? Then when he was a senator, he was loved by all the Olu zone. Outside Olu zone, do you understand? He's a very generous person. So now that he's a governor, the disparity is too long.
Too wide.
Too wide. I don't want to go into details. If I go into details, I will be emotional and I will attach family into it. Do you understand? It's like
so where are you the problem? No.
I'm anchoring it on the people around him. See, you cannot turn to be a bad person overnight unless it's inherent in you. And the governor was over 50 years before he came to power. Do you understand? And he has been good all these years. Had he been, he has been good to people. If he's aggressive, it's outsiders. Do you understand?
Maybe the position changed him.
If he changed him, that means he has never been good, because a senator is almost equivalent to a governor. When he was a senator, he was still good. He was helping people to give them employment. Let me finish. Okay. He was giving people employment as a senator. Zone, he was carrying everybody along. Then how can a giver of employment now push out people that are being employed out of no employment since he came to power, except all these political gigalos that are psychophants around him? They are not contributing anything to his life. That man is struggling with only his ideas and brain. Nobody is imputing everything on, and you can never be monopoly of knowledge. You can never see. That's why they say a professor is somebody that knows too much about a particular thing. He cannot know everything. That's why there is essay on this, essay on that, commissioner on this. But they are not addressing him well.
The governor cannot run the state alone. They cannot run.
They are like commissioners without portfolio, because you have nothing to project. You don't have any jobs. It's only the one that comes out of him. That is his constraint. Yeah. The people around him are his constraint.
Let's give him a chance to make it. You want to say something?
Yes. The point is this. I have not seen a governor of Imo State that has shown so much love to Imo people.
So you agree with what Madam said?
Listen, allow me make my point. Okay. I have not seen a governor of Imo State that has shown so much love to workers and Imo people. Now, number one, let us draw a line between governor's personal life as Senator Hope Uzodimma or Chief Hope Uzodimma and Governor Hope Uzodimma. As Chief Hope Uzodimma, he could spend his money the way he wanted it without any regulations. As Governor Hope Uzodimma, that cannot be the case. There are regulations.
Yes.
He can't just dip his hand in his pocket and give you government money. And the governor has made this point several times. Number two, the madam here made a valid point that when governor came, he started by validating workers
and everything,
because there were ghost workers. She admitted.
Yes.
But along the line, she brought her emotion in to say that how could the workers now become ghost workers? But she acknowledged the process. She acknowledged the point, the team.
And
that,
those that attacked came back and said, I am not a ghost worker, I'm a human being.
Excuse me, please. See, I myself, I have received complaints. People have complained to me, look, I have not been paid my salary. This is the problem. This is the problem. There is one particular woman. Her problem was that she was transferred to a local government. But because of the insecurity in that local government, she sent herself to another local government.
She sent herself?
Yes. She went to another local government. To resume work. How she did it, I don't know. The system didn't recognize that move. So you go to the place where she was transferred to, her name is not there. You go to where she is now. When they are sending, they won't send her name. So good, she had an issue. And people like this can tell you, look, I've been earning my salary since 15 years ago, but now I no longer earn salary. So what happened? I had to ask her, go to the appropriate quarters, they will resolve this matter. And the matter has been resolved. She's earning her salaries. So the point I'm making is this. There is a mechanism to resolve all of these issues. If anybody still has issues, the mechanism is still open. Go and resolve them. They are insufficient to generalize that the governor is mean. The governor, people are not advising the governor well. Look, the issue of governance is a serious matter that should not be trivialized.
Yes.
It's a serious matter that should be taken seriously. If I tell you my own discovery, personal discoveries about what we call ghost workers and ghost pension, you will be surprised. You will be surprised. There are people who have not even gone through the process to resolve this matter. You tell them go to this office, they will go to that office. You tell them it is here that you should go to, they won't go to resolve this matter. And some of these people are still, but I doubt.
Okay, Collins, now the issue of resolving, where do we stand now? Because the members of society are still confused. There is no, this morning the guy from TUC was speaking on radio, and it appears like there is no headway. The matter is not even, no negotiation is going on. So where do we stand right now? We need to let
the thing is that we have agreed on this program that the strike is illegal and uncalled for. So an illegality cannot stand.
So you have
an illegality cannot stand. What we are saying is that the NLC president should redeem the image of the NLC by at least, if you cannot call it off, by at least suspending the strike, so that there will be a meeting point between the NLC and the government.
So the government is not approaching them, approaching the NLC?
No, there are moves to this discussion we are having here. It's part of moves. Okay. We are talking about solutions. It's part of efforts. So other government officials are also
them. And they reach a resolution before.
Should I allow her to answer?
No, wait.
See, when you bring a dog to me, you want to give me a dog, and I'm holding a big stick, will the dog come to me? The dog will not come. So there has to be a meeting point, and the meeting point is what I'm suggesting. In the first place, the strike is illegal, uncalled for, ill-timed, politically motivated. The solution is, first of all, suspend this strike, then meet government.
Okay. Now, Madam, do you have anything to say? Do you have your final point? Just make your point.
I don't know. The society is supposed to know that before these people started this strike, they must have several meetings upon meetings. And I don't know.
He has said it that the government was approached at a point over
some issues.
Resolved. Which we will resolve. This strike now.
Remember the
such process.
And the government. They will tell them, oh, I will pay, don't worry, go back. They will call off and went back to school. And yet the same problem was still there. They didn't solve it. Maybe when they met that time, he told them that he's going to solve it. And maybe they have been waiting for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and the thing is lingering, and they are not seeing any headway. That must have been what motivated this present strike. And they want a total lockdown, which I'm not prepared for to do. So the issue is that now their grievances have been noticed. The government should approach them, not the other way around. See, democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. It is only in Nigeria that we don't maintain that. A governor is not a separate entity. It's the governor of the people. Okay, if your child offends you, will you throw the bathing water and the... See, we are the employers of the government. The government should go to the worker. What is the way out of this? Okay, then they should have, they are supposed to be a round table meeting with them. And they come to a consensus, which is visible. Because those people that are their leaders, some of them, like, if I don't know, I will say, they have been collecting and be eating and leaving us. That's what the work. Do you know the praise under all those people you call their leader, any NLC or any UJ leader, whatever? You understand? They're under a very big, serious pressure. Like Hope Uzodinma is also under a serious pressure to carry his state, everybody along. Okay. The government should be the one to go and negotiate with the people that employed him. He is the people that voted him in, not him that voted himself in. Let them reach out to a consensus and come up and call up because I cannot condone it. We are almost a week less than a week to the election, House of Assembly election. This kind of issue is supposed not to be now, so that people will be able to travel and go and do their elections. It's not any, I will not support any NLC or NUJ to call off the strike until government come to them. Is the government, is them, we that put the government. Let them resolve it. Then they call off the strike. Okay. Because they might call off the strike now, the government will have nothing to do. They will not do it. It will look as if they are not organized. Yeah. Whether the driver, whether it's politically or emotionally, please. We don't need that in Imo State now. The light issue is, look at fuel is 300 naira. How many people will be able to, afford that? For over a week, 2 weeks, please. This thing is supposed not to linger more than 2 weeks. So tell His Excellency, say, sir, we the women, they make a riot. I go to get to government house. I'm going to get wish riot. You must, because of us, and go and beg them to call off this strike. Madam, thank you.
You will take the message to the government.
See, my final word, please. I have to say a final word. Okay. My final word is this. I want to reiterate the fact, as a fact, that the NLC has no issues with the government. I'm not saying it. The NLC said so. They had a press conference where they announced to the world that they don't have unresolved issues with the state government. That is the state. That is the state. It is the state we're talking about. Okay. Now, if Joajero has a problem,
so it's a personal.
Yes,
yes,
it is him. Yes, because you can't come to my house and tell me I have a problem when I've not told you I have a problem. You'll be crying more than they believed. The NLC here, the statement from them is that they don't have any issues whatsoever.
Okay, with the state government that put us in this lockdown.
Excuse me. We are not saying government will not dialogue. I painted a scenario. I made a parable. I said, if you are giving me a dog and I'm holding a stick, will the dog come? You said no. That was why I said that in the first place, illegality cannot stand anywhere. Let us not say because we don't like the person of Governor Eplosive. Excuse me. Let us not say because we don't like him.
Like the governor.
Excuse me. Please.
We are talking about.
Let us not say because we don't like his person or don't like the fact that he's occupying that office. They will now assume that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That is not correct. Like I said, the strike is illegal. Illegality cannot stand. You can't act on illegality. So the person who acted ultra-virus should correct his step.
Yeah, viewers, this is the much we can take from this program. We have dissected the issues, and we can hear from the government angle that the NLC in Imo State said they have no issues, and the madam here is contending that our governor is a very generous person and perhaps may have been misadvised on some of the issues. Now, it's now left for you to know where the issues are placed. We call on the NLC to help lighten the burden on the people because some people are saying the strike is ill-timed because of the issues that are already affecting the mass of the people. Please, whoever can help us to bring solutions to these things, Imo people needs a breath of fresh air. My name is Afam. Please remember to like our Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube platform. Thank you.